All right, for the advanced lists assignment, I need you to do a few things. Here's the instructions on Canvas. This is what I want you to do. This is what I want it to look like when you're done. So there's a couple things here. There's 3 different lists and all sorts of different bullet points. That's the advanced part of lists. We know how to make a simple list, either bullet points or numbered, but there's a lot of different types of bullets that we can use, or numbers. So we're going to look at some of those. Make sure you're at on W3 Schools HTML under the lists, HTML lists page. And if you scroll down a little ways, the first example for a list is just a simple list right here. So if I click try it yourself, here's a simple list, and as long as it's inside the UL unordered list tag, there's 3 list items. Right, in opening and closing list items, if it's inside the list, it gives bullet points. If it's an ordered list, OL, it makes numbers. So that's the default attributes of the UL tag and the OL, unordered list and ordered list. So to go a little further with that, I'm going to go back to the lists page and scroll down. Now, we have different values. Instead of, well, let's see, disk is the default, as it says here, just a bullet point. We have circles, squares, and then none. We can take away the bullet points if we want on a list. So it shows those like this in a style attribute. It's the property is list style type, and the value is disk. That's default. That's just a bullet point. So we're going to get that anyway, whether we have this style or not. It looks just the same. But then we can try a circle. So change that to a circle. We can do a square or none. So let's try that. So if I change this to, and this is in, so the style attribute is in the list tag, the unordered list tag. If I change it to circle and run it, it changes those to circles instead of disks. If I change this to square, of course it changes them to square. And if I put none, it will take away the bullet points altogether. So what I want you to do, as I showed here, on the first list, I want 6 items. And the first 2 items I want a circle. Second 2 I want a square. And the third 2, the last 2 I guess, is none. So no bullets at all. So you need to make a list. And it doesn't, I don't really care what you have in your list. It could be the exact same as mine if you want to copy that. Or you could even just duplicate some of these. I'm just going to copy and paste. So now I have 6 right there. So the whole thing is going to be square. So all 6 are square right now. And I can leave that there if I want the first 2 to, well, yeah. They're all square, but if I can override that. So I'm just going to copy this and put it inside my first 2, because as it shows here, I want circles, then squares, then none. So I will just do this. So paste that. I'm going to change that to circle, and then copy that again and paste it to the next list item. The next 2 I want squares, so I'm going to leave them because that's listed up here. And then the last 2, I'm going to do none. I run it. There's my first list. So the point is I just want you to know how to change that style attribute. Put it inside the list items, and then you have the first list of 3 different bullet points. See, I could also just take this out right here, do a Control X to cut it, and put them right here. If that makes more sense to you, do that. But it should be the exact same. All right, that's the first list. The second list needs to look like this. So we're going to have numbers, and that's just a ordered list. And then we'll have letters and then Roman numerals. So we got to figure out how to do that. So if you scroll down a little farther, ordered list, there's your standard ordered list. It's going to number it 1 to 3. And here's the other things. Now this is a little different. It's a type attribute. It's not style. Why? I'm not exactly sure, but it is. So we're going to add type, and then, so here's the values. 1, we get numbers. That's default. If we have a capital A, we get uppercase letters. If we have a lowercase a, lowercase letters, capital I, uppercase Roman numerals, lowercase I, lowercase Roman numbers. So let's do that. So I'm just going to take this one right here, and I need 6, I believe, again. Yep, so let's just get 6. Where'd it go? In fact, I'm just going to come, well, yeah, let's go back here. So type 1, everything's going to be type 1 by default. I'm going to get rid of that. Cut it and paste it in here because I want the first 2 to have numbers. I want the next one, in fact, I'm going to, well, let's do this. The next one, I want letters, and I want lowercase letters, so I'm going to do an A. Now I'm going to copy this and paste it 3 more times to get 6. And now, to get a B, some think it needs to be type B, but that is nothing. So look at, let's see. So the B down here, type A. If I put B, C, D, that's not going to work out. It's going to go back to the default of numbers. Okay, so it's actually just A. I need to put A in all of them, because type A gives numbers, or sorry, lowercase letters, but if there's more than 1, it just increases the value. So right here, C, D, E, F, even though these are all A. It's a type A, which is a lowercase letter, but since there's 4 in a row, it numerates them. So that's the second one, I believe. Actually, nope, I need Roman numerals. So if you remember, that's an I, lowercase I, or uppercase, doesn't really matter. So now I've got 2 numbers, 2 letters, and Roman numerals. And now you can see they're still in order. 1, 2, C, D, because it's the third and 4th list item, not the first and second, and then 5 and 6. So it's still got the right order because that's how many list item tags there are, so it keeps track of that, but just changes the type of bullet that it is. Okay, the third one and last one is, this one's a bit more tricky. This is called nested lists. So we nest, that's a term we use a lot. We nest tags, and so this is a nested list. It's a little bit different, kind of the same, but a little bit different than just nesting tags. So let me show you what this does. If I scroll down a little farther to nested lists, right here, and look and see what it looks like. Let's go in here. Now there is an unordered list right here. It opens here and it closes down here. But halfway through, there's a list item that's left open, and another list is put inside of there. It's nested inside the list item. And so let me show it over here just so we can see it a little better what happened. If I click on this unordered list tag opening, it closes all the way down here, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 list items. Nope, sorry, 3 list items: coffee, tea, milk. But inside of the tea, look, here's the opening list item and the closing. It surrounds this list right here. So they left the tea list item open. They didn't close it off right here, and they added another list inside of there with 2 list items. So this is a nested list inside of the T list item. So let's go back and see what that does. So inside of T, they nested another list, and so by default, if it's inside of another list item like that, it just tabs in one level and makes a circle instead of disks. So that's just an automatic way to nest lists and list items and tab them in and get them on a new level, circles instead of disks. And we could do it again inside this list item. If we put a list inside there, then it would tab it one more and put something else, probably a square. So that's what you need to do. I want, however, these 7 items. Well, if you have, as long as you have two lists nested, that's what I'm looking for. So you got to change it up just a little bit so that you nest the two lists. So I will let you figure that one out. Just make sure that all the lists are, the tags are correct and everything's nested inside, and that if you nest a list inside of a list item, you leave it open so it doesn't close right away. It closes below the other list, and that will send the bullet points to another level, to the next level. Okay, that's it. Now on Canvas, to submit it, I want you to, wherever you've done the work, just take screen clippings. Take a screen clipping of the code with what it looks like. Just take a screen clipping of this. You might need 3 different ones, like I have 3 different lists. I would take 3 different screen clippings of my list with the code and just put them in one Word document and then submit it.